Hey everybody, Colby from Mossy Creek here with your weekly fly fishing forecast. Today is Monday, August 21st. I wish I had better news about some moisture in the forecast. We are still very dry here. Most of our rivers are at base flow, which means it's nothing much more than groundwater pumping into them. We do have a slight chance for some moisture starting Wednesday night. Thursday. Friday looks like the best possibility right now, 40% afternoon, evening showers. Into Saturday, we'll have some temperature fluctuations this week. It's going to be cooler the next couple days, get up to 97 by Thursday, and then it's going to cool off again the end of the week, weekend, early next week. Looks like lows in the mid to low 50s. Highs around 79 on Sunday and Monday. So it'll be a lot better, more comfortable fishing weather. We're hoping that we get some moisture out of the system this week because we do desperately need it. Our trout fishing has been slow because there's not as many places to fish right now. Most everyone that is going out and fishing, they're fishing the spring creeks, Mossy Creek, Buffalo Creek, Upper South River, or they're fishing the tailwaters, the Jackson or Smith River, or going further down to southwestern Virginia, where they've gotten a little bit more rainfall this summer than we have. Most of the mountain streams are either barely flowing or they're actually kind of dried up between deeper pools right now. So a lot of brook trout surviving in their sanctuary pools. We'll kind of see, hopefully we'll get some water and some rain and some flow back so those fish can spread out and start to feed and prep us hopefully for a good spawn this fall up in the mountains. So the trout fishing that we are doing on primarily Mossy Creek right now, still good trico hatches in the morning. The hexes have started. They're sporadic up and down the creek. Sunday night we went out and fished. We found loads of bugs on certain riffles, and then sporadic bugs kind of in between. The good news is the grasshopper fishing has gotten pretty good. So our grasshoppers have matured. There's good numbers of them. They're starting to get big. I would say you can fish any size grasshopper right now all the way through the rest of the summer season into October, into late October. Moorish hoppers, your PMX, parachute hoppers, any color, any size. Most of the grasshoppers are tan or yellowish brown. There are still some juvenile green hoppers kind of around. Beetles and ants are still working as well. Water is very, very clear, so you're gonna have to use longer casts, a very stealthy approach. The grass is tall in a lot of spots on the Spring Creek, so you can stay low, make those long casts, inch your way up the creek, and you could run into some quality fish that way. Beaver Creek, our local Trout Unlimited chapter, made the decision to close it down because it is very low and it is also very warm. Farmers are irrigating right now, pulling a lot of water out to keep their crops nice and healthy and green. So a lot of different factors playing into our low water. The Shenandoah River, which we have been fishing daily, fishing pretty well. It does require some longer casts right now. The boats floating down the river are going to spook fish away from the boat, and you need to be able to cast to fish that don't know that that boat is approaching. So 45 feet, 55 feet, 60-foot casts are in play right now. It can be a lot of fun. It can be frustrating to see a lot of fish spooking around or under the boat, or making casts and watching fish spook. It is technical in that regard, but it can also be a lot of fun to spot that big largemouth, that big smallmouth, that carp that's feeding, and make a nice presentation and watch that fish come over and eat your fly, whether it's a subsurface fly or a topwater bug. So a lot of visual fishing going on the warm water streams right now. The James is at pretty good flow. The South Fork is running at base flow, which means it's kind of flatlined at 219 CFS. It'll drop a couple CFS a day likely if we don't get any rain, but fish those longer, deeper pools where there is a little bit of current and fish the shade lines, especially on the hot days. We've been saying that for weeks now, but on those bright, sunny, hot days, if you're going down the river and you see a giant patch of shade extending off the bank, focus your efforts on those areas because a lot of those bass will congregate in those shady spots. Topwater flies, cork bugs, still plenty of dragonflies and damselflies flying around. There are a good number of dog day cicadas out floating around, flying around, crashing into the water. That's going to get better. That big bug fishing is going to get better as the season kind of progresses and comes to an end when more of them start to die. So big flies up on top. Swim frogs are still working great. Had some excellent days with Todd's wiggle minnows lately. So a lot of fun different flies you can fish. The cold front days where the bite slows down a little bit, downsize your flies, use lighter tippet like 3X fluorocarbon, and smaller flies like the clawdad or the crittermite. Smaller bait fish patterns will get those wary or easily spooked fish to grab your flies. So a couple things going on this week. We just posted an update on the Mossy Creek restoration job. You could go to our YouTube channel. I'll try to get it up on our website, so there's a quick link to that. It'll be in our newsletter. Check out the great work that was done up on the upper section of Mossy Creek. And then we pulled the numbers for our tire giveaway. Shane and Brian went out a couple weeks ago on a day off, pulled a lot of tires out of the river. They pulled 72 tires out. The total weight for the load was 1,940 pounds. So we picked two winners. Somebody hit the tire number right on the mark. Somebody else was within 60 pounds, but also had a very close number to the number of tires. So those two winners will get gift cards to the fly shop. So that's been a lot of fun. Everything new in the shop. We've got our new load of hats in, new t-shirts, squala gear, fish pond came in. We have a ton of fly tying materials coming in this week. And then our big fall order from Sims will show up towards the end of the month. So a lot of fun, exciting stuff still going on at the shop. Enjoy that topwater fishing and that sight fishing on your smallmouth rivers. And we will see you next week. Thanks.